Are you looking for peace of mind at your doorstep? Look no further. With the Blink Video Doorbell, your home's entrance is always within your control. Check out the link in the video description to learn more and get your Blink Video Doorbell on Amazon. Your home is in your hands.
The last 5 years have been a whirlwind for Remi. The soulful and funky pop star, 28, debuted in 2019 and swiftly garnered buzz online, before dropping her debut album, Juno, in 2021 and essentially touring the globe non-stop ever since. Her sophomore album, Big Ideas, was released July 12 and chronicles the personal growth she's gone through since hitting the scene. Originally from Palo Alto, California, Wolf began playing music as a teenager before auditioning for season 13 of American Idol in high school, where she only made it to Hollywood Week, and later studying at the USC Thornton School of Music, where she became known for performing at raucous house parties. Within 2 years after graduating in 2018, she was signed to Island Records and gaining momentum with earworm singles like Photo ID and Hello Hello Hello. Following the release of Juno, Wolf toured worldwide as both a headliner as well as an opening act for Lorde, Paramore, Gorillaz and, more recently, Olivia Rodrigo. However, Wolf's meteoric rise hasn't been without its roadblocks. Shortly after the COVID-19 pandemic's onset in 2020, she decided to face her personal issues with substance use head-on and checked herself into rehab. Over the subsequent years, she's navigated sobriety whilst working up the ranks of the music industry and found a unique path that works for her. The experience, along with the general difficulties of growing through one's 20s, inspired the material on Big Ideas, a 13-track exploration of vulnerable self-discovery, complete with the sonic quirks and humorous lyrics that drawn fans to the musician. Wolf sat down with our channel to discuss her rise to fame, making big ideas while on the road, her post-rehab relationship to alcohol and the advice she'd give her younger self in the American Idol audition room. I feel so many things, and I'm also numb at the same time, I guess. I'm excited because it's truly been 2.5 years of me waiting to put this stuff out. But it's also sad. I am birthing children, and I think that there's a comfort in having nobody know them. But there's also a relief in people knowing them. It's a mixed bag. It's interesting. When it's my show, you can tell the difference between the songs that are and aren't out, because they know all the words on the songs that are out. The ones that aren't out, it's like a silent room, which is a little scary. For the Olivia tour, most people in the crowd didn't know my music anyway, so it almost felt like I was pitching my entire catalog to people, and they were responding to each song. It depends on the crowd, but it feels good too, especially for Soup. I wrote that song to play in arenas. It was really inspired by these big, fat arena songs, and it came full circle. Juno was made entirely in COVID in home studios with not very much equipment, very bare bones. We would travel with a mini setup to Airbnbs in our family's homes and stuff like that. Environment alone, this album is so different. I really wanted to get into studios that allowed my process to flow a little bit differently, and that facilitated an ease of operations, I guess. Like having an engineer and having all this gear plugged in and at our fingertips ready to play was really amazing. Electric Lady, I am obsessed with that studio. I feel so endlessly inspired there. Also, I worked at Conway in LA, which was an amazing environment, Diamond Mine in New York City, which was so sick because they recorded everything to tape, a totally different process that I've never experienced before. And then some of the songs were recorded in my friend Ethan Gruska's house in LA. He has a great studio in his backyard, but also, I've worked with him so much before that it felt really comfortable and familiar. The environments were really important to me, being able to come home from tour and just explode, let loose and be totally free in my writing before I had to go back on tour 5 days later. I don't know if I felt pressure in the writing sense. I feel like that's such a big thing with people's sophomore albums that everybody likes to talk about, the sophomore slump. I think because I was on the road and in these really, really extreme traveling environments and then coming home to get to go straight into the studio, essentially, I almost didn't even have time to think about anything, or to overthink anything. I was just on this sea.